In this video, let's understand about one of a special feature that is referred as FortiGate software switch. This is one among the interface types that's available in the FortiGate firewall, but as the name suggests, the software switch is a virtual switch feature that is implemented at the software or a firmware level of the device, and it's not in the hardware level. And a software switch can be used to simplify the communication between devices that are connected to the different FortiGate interfaces. All right. So, for example, if we can understand with this topology, right? So, means again, as said, for FortiGate software switch is one among the interface types of a FortiGate firewall, and it is an software level switch. It's not an hardware level. All right. Mainly, it can be used in a different scenario. It depends on the requirement, right? Like just consider that you have a LAN segment here, and you have a different, set of users who is coming from LAN segment, and also like you have users. If you want to connect, like maybe scenario one, like you have a different set of users, but part of a same subnet, okay, but of a same LAN zone or same zone. Uh, so if you want to connect to them, you can make use of it. It just act as a switch. So in that case, that particular request, say for example, if this PC want to connect to this, so the request would come here and it would automatically do only switching feature and it would reach here. So for this, it will not hit the any firewall policy. All right. So it's not only about the communication between or within a LAN alone. So that could be made in multiple scenarios. It completely depends on your requirement. Like you have a LAN segment where you want to you have a different segments for wireless, and if you want to connect from here to here, it's possible. Or you have some servers in the DMZ, that too it's possible. Like if you don't want that particular traffic to pass through the security policy, instead you just want to have a direct access, then that is also possible. Or you have some other server in your LAN and you want to connect from this PC to this server, like just consider that server, it's possible. So it's completely depends on the requirement, like how you are deploying it. All right. So basically the software switch will do only the switching function. All right. So whenever you associate any ports to that switching function or to the software switch, the traffic within that, like from port 2 to port 3 or port 2 to port 4, or within this three interfaces, like it would not go to the security policy. Okay, means only within this, from port 2 to 3 or 4 or from here to here in this direction. However, if you have a different requirement, like if you want this PC to connect to internet, or this one to connect to internet, or this one to connect to internet, then in that case maybe it's different. Like though it's coming to the switch, it want to go to the internet, right? So it should pass through port 5. So then in that case you want to have a security policy to allow a traffic, allow the traffic to pass through it, right? However, to have a communication within here, right, without crossing the firewall, if it want to perform a switching level, that is possible. All right. So in our lab, let's see how to do it. Okay, let's go with a similar setup only. So we have a similar setup in our lab topology, like we discussed in the PPT. So if you see here, like I have three different PCs. That's PC1, PC2, PC3, and all the PCs uh, comes under the same subnet, that is 172.16.10.0/24. Whereas PC1 has dot 100, this one dot 101, and this one for 102. And we'll be configuring this IP like 172.16.10.1 as a gateway for this one. All right. As informed in earlier, like it completely depends on your requirement, how you want to deploy it. It doesn't mean that I want to have only within a LAN, or it doesn't mean that it's possible only to do with this, order, like within a LAN. It completely depends like how you want to do it. All right. So like in this topology, I'm using port 5 as my WAN interface. I have already enabled DHCP. So with that, as you know that 10.0.137.0/24 is used for the NAT subnet in this topology. It automatically got an IP dot 137. Okay, 10.0.137.137 is the WAN interface IP. All right. So let's do one thing. Just to avoid time consumption, just to avoid wasting your time, I have already configured these IPs, all these three IPs in the three devices. Okay, statically. It completely depends on you. Like if you want to save time, you can also establish you can also enable DHCP server from this side, and you can get a DHCP IPs as well. So it completely depends. See here. All right. Starting from PC1. Okay, so this is PC1, right? So maybe I already am in this one. I can show you again IP config, right? So if you see here, I have already configured this IP 172.16.10.100. All right. This is PC1 and it has a default IP configured to 172.16.10.1. All right. I'll go to PC2. So we'll open the terminal, that's Mobux term. And so if I use again here IP config, it would be having 101. See, this is having an IP address 172.16.10.101, and again it's pointing towards the same gateway. And here on Windows 3, all right, if you see here, it is having an IP address 172.16.0.102. All right. So IPs are configured as such, and now we need to configure the software switch at FortiGate firewall. So as a part of this topology, we are making a software switch with port 2, port 3, and port 4. As port 5, we are using for a WAN in this topology. But in a previous video, we might have used port 4 here for WAN. But for this, as I want to show you like more interfaces, I just, altered the topology. I made port 4 again LAN and port 5 as the WAN. So I'll come here at the firewall side interfaces, as you know, like port 3, port 4, and port, sorry, 2, 3, 4. All these are belongs to LAN. And if you want to give any, alias names, you can give it to it for your references. All right. And you don't need to configure any IP address as such to the interface related. Like instead, I'm just going to create a new interface here. Like you can means by default it is in a VLAN, right? Just select here, and in this video we are seeing about software switch. Just select software switch. You can give any name, soft switch, like I'm giving this one, soft switch 1. Okay, and here SFSW1, soft switch 1 as alias name. It refers as software switch. And when it comes to interface members, this time port 2, port 3, port 4. All the three ports are part of my software switch. Okay. And I have given a role as like LAN because it belongs to LAN zone. Now we are not creating a zone, just a LAN segment, I would say. All right. Fine. So here we need to define the IP address. And if you refer the topology, we would have given 172.16.10.1, right? 172.16.10.1 / 24. All right. And let me enable ping HTTPS SSH. That's it. Select OK. So now we have created a software switch. If you see, scroll down a little, and if you see here, right, we have created a software switch, and under that software switch, port 3, sorry, port 2, port 3, and port 4. All these three ports are member of this switch, and they are sharing the same gateway IP, that is 172.16.10.1, means gateway to this particular network. Right. Fine. For testing, if you go to any of this thing, like, all right, now I'm in PC3, right? Earlier it has an IP ending with 102. Let me try to ping my gateway. Okay. So 172.16.10.1. So this is the gateway. Let's try. All right. See, we are getting a response. Okay. So as same, we can try to ping from here as well, from Windows PC2 or Windows PC3 loaded. So from here, we'll try to first let's try to connect to the gateway, and then let's try to ping each other. It should work. like PC1 to PC2 or PC3, it should work. All right, I'm able to connect to the gateway, and here as well, if I try, this is from PC1, 172.16.10.1. I should get response. All right. So now what we did, we have created all these three switches, a software switch. We have given this IP address. And now from all these three PCs, we try to ping the gateway. It is reachable, right? But the main thing, like as we said, software switch, what it do, it's an software based switch lying here, right? So how to confirm that it's actually working? Okay, with means we said that whatever we put under a software switch, that particular request will be L200, right? Means it would be doing the switching, I would say, in that direction instead of L2. Okay, so it would do only switching, and that request would not go to the what, like the security policies, right? So just to ensure that if switching is working, what let's do, let's from this PC1, let's try to ping this one, so that the request would come here as there is a switching functions enabled for these three ports. This packet would go here and we will be getting a response. Means basically switching will be working. So currently I'm in PC1. I'll try to ping 172 1 sorry 16.10.102. See, I'm getting a response. Like 102 is the PC3 IP and 101 is PC2 IP, because this particular device is having IP 100. See, we're getting response. Same, like even if you go to PC3, ping 172.16. uh Maybe if I try to ping 100, that's PC1, I'm getting response, right? Also if I try to do ping to 101, that's PC2, I'm getting response. Like the same, even if you go to PC2, like uh, I'll just show you anyone. See, we are getting response. So basically, from this network, we are able to communicate to each other. So it confirms that the switching is working, right? Also, as said, when it is a communication within a switch, okay, there is no required, the security policy is not required. However, if you want to communicate from here to this direction, like pass through the switch, and it's not within a switch, and you want to go in the other direction, like to the internet or to whatever destination you have in the other side, then in that direction, like you want to have a valid security policy to allow the traffic. Let's do it. Maybe I can show you, like before that, it won't, like, let's try to ping maybe from PC1. I'll keep it PC2, navigate again, right? So ping 8.8.8.8. So we will not get any response now. Okay. Because what happened now, now this traffic is coming. It came here like to 8.8.8.8 to reach 8.8.8.8. But now FortiGate sense that this is not some destination that's part of this virtual switch. It should be passed to other side. However, in order to pass to the other side, there is no valid security policy to allow the traffic this way. So that's the reason now FortiGate drops the packet here itself. So I'll go back to the FortiGate. I will just go to security policy. And also before that, I just show you that I have already put DHCP on my port 5, the WAN port. Okay, it's using this IP address as my WAN IP for now. All right, and so I should be using a static route to it, right? As it is my NAT network. If it is some other network, like if you're putting on DMZ and if it's directly connected, that's not required. But as it is a NAT network, it's going to internet. I'm just adding a route here. So the gateway IP is 10.0.137.254. This is the gateway of my NAT network. In your case, it would be different, right? So you can have the same. And in order to reach that, like this 254, right? In order to reach that, traffic would go through port 5, and that's the reason it automatically chooses port 5. So I have a default route pointing towards my NAT network. All right. So now I should go for a policy to allow the traffic. So to do that policy object, there is an option like firewall policy, right? So create new. So under create new, I can create a in to simple one. And now the incoming interface, it should be software switch. Okay. So when you say software switch, whatever traffic that is coming from port 2, 3, 4, call it. And outgoing interface is port 5. Source is all, destination is all, and service all. Means it's a simple rule. So we'll just go with the default values like all. Fine. And what else? All session. So NAT is enabled, as said earlier, like it's directly connected to this network. Okay, we don't have any other router or something like that. So that I'm just enable NAT also by default. So now we have a valid firewall rule. Now if I go back to this PC, means last time it was not reaching, right? Let's try this time. Let's see what happens. It should reach. See, I'm getting response. So basically, now what happened? Like when the last time when the request comes, like I said, it dropped here, right? So this time when we initiate the request, it comes in the same direction. Now firewall sees the destination and it's mentioned as like 8.8.8.8. Then it understands it is not this destination that's part of this three or part of the the software switch, right? And it knows that in order to do so, there is a route to forward it to this network or to this gateway, right? So there is a route. Now it know how to forward it, but again, it would check whether is there is any valid route to allow the traffic. So as we have a valid rule, now it allowed it and we get a response. Also, like maybe we can just check the connectivity from the browser instead of just only pinging. Let's try to connect to any destination in the internet. Let's initiate some web traffic. All right. All right. Maybe a Facebook or Reddit. All right. See, we're getting response from the destination, right? Even for Reddit, we're getting that response. Basically, it confirms that we are able to connect to the internet. Okay. Yeah. Twitter, it's working, right? So we're getting the homepage for Twitter as well. So basically, we are able to connect to the internet, and also we are using what? Like we are using the software switch here. It's not only from this machine, from all the three machines, we are able to connect with, interact with each other. And for that communication between this, we don't need any software policy, software rule, because we have already configured a software switch here. And when we want any of this device want to connect to the internet, then we require a security policy. We already have it now configured so that all these three devices are able to connect to the internet.